What's up, guys? Today I'm going to show you how to make high profits off low material costs, something that you can sell quick, easy to your friends or whoever. So stick with me and I'm going to give you 3, maybe 4 projects that you can build fast in your shop with basic tools. Here we go. Let's get rolling. All right, first up, countertop riser stands. 1x4, 1x6. You can use scrap wood for this to get rid of some of that scrap wood in your shop, or you can go to your big box store and spend around $5 on one 1x4 or 1x6 and turn it in. Just that one board you can turn into $160. So that's our first project. Make these 12 inches long, 14 inches long, 16 inches long, and like I said, you can sell them anywhere from 20, let's say $15 to $30. Depending on the size, or if you group them together. So let's get started on building that. But the first thing I want to do is make sure my miter saw is still square. Now you can use a skill saw or whatever you want to use to make these, even a hand saw. So here we go. Let's check that out. Grab my speed square. Usually use something like that, but what you do is put your flat back up against it. Set your blade down. And that's good. I'm still square on my saw. So first thing I want to do is make sure the end of my board, the end of my board is still square. Safety glasses. Ear protection. All right, next thing we're going to do is we're going to measure this one 12 inches. So I want to mark 12 inches on my board. Now something I do that a lot of woodworkers don't, and you don't really have to, but I do, is I still put a line on my boards to make sure I'm cutting square no matter what with my speed square. Push up the escalator. All right, that's it. That's our first one, but now I got to add a little stand in it. So what I'm going to do is set this to the side, and all I'm going to do is cut me some widths the same size, 3/4. You're only going to set up 3/4, or I can turn them on the side. So we're going to cut a 2-inch piece. 2 2-inch pieces. Hey, you see what I did there? I used my piece that I cut to mark my other line, but remember now, when you cut it, don't cut down the take measure down. Don't cut right on your line. You want to leave your line because you marked right beside it, and that'll give you the exact same size piece we just cut. Remember, let your saw get up to speed. All right, I'm back. All right, what we're gonna do now is put these together. All right, I've routed them or cut them, and we're gonna route the edges and sand them, carry them over there and sand them. So that's what we're gonna do right now. Y'all ready for this? Let's get busy with it. What we're gonna do is sand these puppies down, get the edges nice and smooth, the top's nice and smooth, the bottom's nice and smooth, so it takes the stain, baby, it takes the stain. All right, baby, we're good to go. I got them sanded down. They're nice and smooth. Got the routed edge on it right there, if you can see that routed edge. So we're gonna put them together real quick. Should be simple and easy. I'm gonna take a brad nailer and some wood glue and knock it out. So here we go. All right, here we go. Got my Habor freight brad nailer. Gonna nail them from the bottom so I don't have to do any putty. But we're gonna glue these things on and get it rolling. Man, I like these little Rockler bottles right here. They're all right. They're squeezy. You can push that glue right out. They're all right. Remember, I only routed 3 sides. So when I put it together, it's flat and I don't create that line like I was telling you. A little squeegee in there. Get that glue spread out. Wipe it off. All right, that's it right there. We're gonna get these things up and running and stained, baby. And I'll show you at the end what it looks like. But hey, that's a quick, easy way to make 20 bucks right there off a $1 piece of lumber, if that. So pop out 8 of them out of an 8-foot board, or 6 of them or 7 of them out of an 8-foot board after you cut your little bases, and you're good to go, man. That's 20 times 7 is 140, or if you can get 8, that's 160 if you make them just a little shorter. 160 bucks for an hour's worth of work. Come on, man, you can't beat that. All right, you ready to see what they look like? I've stained them up and they're ready to go. My wife already wants these, but hey, I'm gonna sell these puppies. 40 bucks on the table right here, baby. 40 bucks. All I got to do is stage them up, put them on Facebook or Etsy, and roll with them. So here we go. Look at that. I stage those puppies up, man, and they'll be good to go. That's 40 bucks out of $1 worth of lumber, man. Come on now, y'all get with it program. Y'all ready for the next project? You know what it is? Hey, if you'll stay with me, you might just find out what it is. Here we go. All right, project number 2. We're gonna do something. School's gonna be coming back here in a month or so. So what we're gonna do today is create things for a kid's room, a teacher's room, a classroom, whatever, a pencil. We'll paint it up and everything to make it look just like a pencil. You can actually customize them if you have a laser, or get a stencil and paint on it with the teacher's name or the student's name. So let's make a pencil today. Maximize the amount of pencil we get. I've got a 37-inch board here, so I'm gonna make 2 pencils at 36 inch or 18 inches to give me, and that's out of a scrap one before. All right, still one, same one before I used on project 1. Miter saw to 45 degrees. First off, let's measure the center. Inch and 3/4 is the center. All right, now what I want to do is cut a 45 angle at the top. So we're going to lay it sideways, turn our, let's get over here so you can see. I've got a line in the center, and that's where my 45 peak will end up at. All right, that's what you'll end up with, something like that. It ain't got to be perfect. It's a pencil, and we're going to paint this up, sand it down, and paint it up, router the edges, or round over the edges, and we're going to get this knocked out quick. And you can sell these probably, come on, you're selling them to a teacher still 15, 20 bucks. All right, especially with your painting and everything. You said 20 bucks, can't beat that. You know what time it is? It's time to sand. Let's sand these up. Y'all went crazy out of level on me, that sander vibrating. All right, here we go. We're gonna router the edges. All right, look here. Do not put too sharp an edge on this with you putting it into a schoolroom. Just keep it like that, and then I'm gonna dull this in with my sander, okay? You're gonna end up with that right there for your pencil top. All right, that way it's not sharp. All right, on to painting. So we're gonna take this thing up and paint it. Back up here, Michael. This thing don't have to be perfect with your paint, but you wanna, your lead, then your wood part, you know, where your yellow number 2 pencil is, then the yellow part, and then the eraser part, and your metal ring that holds the eraser. So that's what we're gonna do. All right, we're gonna get out here. You wanna get out here with me? We're gonna paint the eraser. Do one end and the other end, and that way you can let it dry some, so it'll speed it up. And it's just a guesstimate. It ain't gotta be perfect. Just what I had, some pink. All right, it's dry. Let's paint the yellow. You ain't gotta wait long. Back up here, Michael Lee. All right, we got the pink, the black, and the yellow. As soon as that yellow dries, I'm gonna put the little gray line for the metal ring that goes around to hold the eraser in, and we'll be good. That's it. You can engrave it. You can take a acrylic paint pen and write the teacher's name on it. Maybe you want to get your wife to do it if you ain't got good handwriting. But that's all things you can do to this to make it look cool. So here we go. Time for the eraser top. So here we go. Not the eraser top, the metal ring that holds the eraser. Come on, Michael Lee. And the thing is, I'm using paint that I had in the shop. So you can make this pencil any color you want. You know they make them in all colors. So whatever you got, make it work. Make some money. $15, $20 pencil, 18-inch board, $1. You made $19 off of that right there. $18 off of that right there. Make 10 or 15 of them for an elementary school, put them online, Facebook or whatever, and sell them for kids and put their name on it. Hey, you got a money maker. You can upgrade the price to $25 with your name on it. So here we go. All right, you ready to see what this pencil looks like? Here we go. Right there's the pencil. Look at there. All right, guys. You got that thing's cute now. I'm gonna have to give it to it. Look here. There's 1, 2, 3. What you got? 3.5 foot worth of lumber right there that you can sell for $60, $65, $70. Get out there and make some money, man. You can do this. Quick, easy scrap projects. Here we go. All right, guys. What we got right now is I got about 20, 21 inches of a 1x4 left. So we're going to do project number 3, and we're going to make a wine bottle holder. These things can be stained, engraved, customized, whatever you want, if you have all that. But it's still something that you can do and sell by just cutting and staining with simple tools. So let's get over there and make that happen for us. Got about a 24-inch or so piece of 1x4 left. So what we're going to do is make that wine bottle holder, and we're going to get it cut. So what I've done is mark the first piece 12 inches right here. So let's get that cut. All right, we're back after cutting those pieces. So that's our 2 pieces. So we're going to sand them down, drill a hole in, glue them and nail them together, and we'll have a wine rack holder like that to sell for $20, $25. All right, now what I want to do is take these 2 boards that I got cut. Can you see them? And we're going to put a round over edge on the side of them, and then we're going to carry it back to the miter saw and put a 30-degree cut on it so we can nail them and glue them together. All right, let's go. All right, if you noticed, I only rounded over the edges because we're going to put 30-degree angles on these things, and I don't want the round over where my 30-degree angle is going to hit it. So let's go to the miter saw. You ready? Walk this way. I'm at the miter saw, and we're going down so you can see it. So I'm going to turn the miter saw to a 30-degree angle. That's what I want to know. And I'm going to take this board, and I'm going to cut 30-degree angle opposite on both ends. You noticed I cut opposite angles on both ends, which I need to sand it. And the reason being is when you put this joker on there, whichever way you put it on there, your slope goes towards your bottle, if that makes sense. So you got short end to long end on your angle cuts. That way it looks like that. Now we're going to measure down about 3 inches and to the center of this 1x4, 1 3/4 inches, and we're going to put an 1.5 inch hole in it over here. And that Bauer drill press I did a review on the other day. Y'all remember that? If you hadn't, go back and watch it. The link's in the description. All right? It's a bad little drill press, baby. Need to get a dust collector hooked up this or a vacuum though. All right, you see I got me a center X right there, or a cross mark right there, and that's where I'm going to put this 1.5 inch hole in it. That's where the wine bottle will slide into it. Look like a birdhouse door, you know. There we go. That's it. We almost done with this. I'm telling you, you ain't spent 3 hours, or not even 3 hours. 15 minutes or 30 minutes to build the riser stands. 15 minutes to cut, or 30 minutes to cut and paint the pencil. That's an hour, say, and another 15, 20 minutes, hour and a half, and you can make $400 by making these things or sending these things out. But you'll have to batch them out to make $400. So, but you start selling them to friends and family, and that's the way to go. All right. Don't forget that thumbs and like and thumbs up button for me down there. All right. Appreciate it. Comment. Trying to grow this channel. I've said it before. I need y'all's help. Here we go, baby. Square in. Angle 30 degrees. Just like that right there. You're going to glue it up. All right, y'all ready to see what that wine bottle holder turned out like? There she is, baby. I actually engraved something on that one with the laser that says, wine a little, laugh a lot. But hey, look, you've got about 5 foot of lumber there. Less than $7 worth of lumber that you've already could have made over $100 to $200 on, just on those pieces. You batch them out quick, you sell a lot, friends, family, co-workers, whatever. Next thing you know, you got $400 or $500 weekend in the process. So here we go, baby, let's go. All right, I got a 2 foot 2x4 here, scrap out of the pile over there, that I'm gonna show you how to turn it into $60. This is the last and 4th project. Y'all ready for this? Let's get going, baby. All right, what I'm gonna do is, I ain't gonna tell you what it is yet. You can probably figure it out, but I'm gonna cut them into 4-inch blocks. So that'll be 3.5 by 3.5. We better do 3.5 by 3.5. Let's do 3.5-inch blocks on this 2x4. So I'm gonna mark out 3.5 inches. Hear that rain, baby? That rain hard on me today. I don't know why, but hey, look here. 3 pieces we're gonna turn into $30. So that is 3, 6, 9, 10.5 inches. Of a 2x4, we're gonna turn into $30. All right, not the scrap. What I want to do now, peeps, is router edges. A good deep router edge around the top. All right. Nope. I tell you what. I'm gonna carry them over to the sander first. The drill press, and we're gonna put an 1.5-inch hole in the center of it. You figured it out yet? Stay tuned. All right, I've got the center of that one marked. So what we're gonna do now is drill that out, and I think I'm gonna get it. No, I can hold this. It's big enough to hold. So we're gonna get it up here, and we're gonna put an 1.5-inch hole in it with a fastener bit. There's that Bauer drill press. I gave a thumbs up on me. Hey, I'll put that link in the description too. Go check it out. Hey man, I sell a lot of these things at the craft fair. You ain't figured out what they are? I sell them for $7 a piece at the craft fair, or 3 for $20. So can't beat that, man. Here we go. Let's router the top of them. All right, now what I want to do is I'm going to open up my round over just a little bit more so it gives it a more sharp edge on the side. All right, guys, it's Mike, Armor Woodworks by Mike. I'm going to show you that last 4th project that we can make money on. You get out there and get scrap lumber in your shop, or go to Home Depot or Lowe's and pick up some cheap 2x4s or 1x4s or 1x6s. You can make a killing. I'm telling you. All you got to do is spend a little bit of time on the weekend with the bare minimum tools. But here we go. That's the last project. That's pretty cool. Candle holder. Now look. You can sell them $7 a piece, or you can do a set of 3 for $20 out of a less than $1 piece of lumber. You got this, guys. Get out there and make it happen. You got it. This is Mike from Armor Woodworks. Hey, one more thing. I'm glad y'all stuck with me this long. See that? That's a scrap wood project too, where I made some coasters a while back. You can sell those things for $45, $50 out of what you got left over after making cutting boards and charcuterie boards. So I'll put a link in the description to that video on how to make them, because I posted it a while back, and you got this all set up. Mike from Armor Woodworks by Mike. Remember, as always, Jesus loves you guys.